Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is live here early in the morning. We are only 5 hours away from live training on Friday. Don't quit training. That's why we're going to teach you not to quit. Jake and Matt right on. You were on there this morning. We had a great office hours early with three phenomenal guests. Jake, welcome. Let's pin up here how to reach me. David at dmeltzer.com. Well, I'm a little bit early there. David at dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. Pin below. That's our community. Join us, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get the questions going, team. What do you say, my family addiction specialist? I have not seen you in a while. It must be the early morning getting you going there. Welcome, Cal Comfort Barbecue. I think our friend Sean will come on in a little bit. Let's answer a couple questions. It'll take a few minutes to get warmed up. Get those questions going. Love to see you in there. Sean, I see you. We'll get you about 6:05. I don't have any questions to answer. Anybody have any? Calafia, welcome. Training this week is on Don't Quit. Can you say hello to my friend Yarak? Sure. Hi. Yeah, Sean. Hey. All right. Who's the first one to put a question in here? Jakey Bakey. There we go. What's training on today? It is on Don't Quit, and you're going to love it. Next question. How can I talk to @entrepreneur? Go ahead, DM them. That's a great way to talk to them. It's perfect. Here we go. Hey, welcome, my friend. Are you looking forward to anything this month? I'm looking forward to today. I'm living in the present. So I'm looking forward to this Instagram Live. I'm looking forward to a big speech in Monterrey, Mexico today with Telcel and others. There's so many great things. I'm looking forward to spending time with my family. I'm looking forward to being a student in my calendar. All the great things I'm just looking forward to. Living my life in a healthy, wealthy, wise way, helping other people, empowering other people. What is your ultimate goal in life? To empower over 1 billion people to be happy is my goal. To find 1,000 people like you, Savon, to empower 1,000 people to empower 1,000. 1,000 times 1,000 is a million. A million times 1,000 is a billion. Who are some of your spiritual mentors? Wayne Dyer, Course in Miracles, Napoleon Hill, Carnegie, Deepak Chopra. All of these people, great, Jack Canfield, Blaine Bartlett, Cynthia Kersey, Mary Morrissey, Bob Proctor, unbelievable thought leaders that I've been surrounded. Jim Quick, all great spiritual mentors of mine. But I study Dr. Wayne Dyer every day. I study the Course in Miracles every day, and I study Think and Grow Rich every single day. Wow, the questions started piling in. That's awesome. Give it a minute. That's what they say. What's the greatest challenge as a leader? To be an intelligent follower, to not live in ego-based emotion. As leaders, we tend to have a need to be right, offended, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful, all of those different feelings. But if you're an intelligent follower, you will be a great leader. And that's the most difficult things to deal with. Alrighty. One more question, and I think I'll bring on my superstar guest. How do you stay positive all the time? I don't stay positive all the time. I spend minutes and moments in interference. I spend minutes and moments in corrosion, obsessions, void, shortages, and obstacles in my life, what other people would call negativity. I spend minutes and moments in negativity, so it appears as if I'm positive all the time. So my morning rituals, I will share them really quick. I wake up at 4 a.m. every day because I have an unwind routine, which is the warm up to sleep. I have an unwind routine every night at 9 p.m. to make sure I wake up at 4 a.m. every single day, meditate for 20 minutes. I then take 10 minutes to get ready. I do an hour of health focused things, a minimum an hour health focused things, hour and a half with my family, hour in research, and then I execute on those research that I did. Being a student, attention plus intention equals the coincidences I want. I'll get furthermore into that. Let's join. Hey, Sean, I'll send you an invite. I'll send you one. All right. Oh, the beautiful Lake Murray. What's
Good
going
morning.
on?
That's actually Otay Lake.
I know.
Good morning.
Hold on, I gotta turn up my volume. I got it way down. There you go. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Let me see that hat. Show it to everybody. The
There
digital
you go.
hospitality hat.
That's
That's a
right.
great brand. Well, buddy, I just love the fact that you're up early. I love the fact you're outside. I love the fact that you understand you are a balanced, healthy being. What's your greatest lesson that you've learned recently?
Greatest lesson that I've learned is sunrise gratitude. I mean, that is something that I was at a coaching actually up at Sports One Marketing at the end of last year with your amazing team. Everyone up there, you invited me up, and we didn't know each other formally. I only had been following you digitally, and you taught me about the compounding interest, about a daily habit. And gratitude, I've always been grateful in my life, but every single day now, sunrise gratitude has become a practice, something that I do daily, mind, body, and spirit, and it's changed everything. It's been very helpful for an uncertain year.
I'm doing it's always uncertain, by the way, Shawnee. I'm gonna give you a little coaching right now. We have an accelerated change this year, but if you could tell me what's going to happen for sure tomorrow, other than the Chargers losing this weekend, we can make no, we can make a lot of money if it was a certain world, but it's an uncertain world all the time. We just have accelerated change. One of the things, I'm training on every Friday. You go to every single training, if not watch the replays. This training is essential to me because it's like the heartbeat of business. And when I say that, the heartbeat is all that determines whether we're alive or not. I can take your eyes away, your ears away. I can take all your arms and legs. I can take off all your hair. You still be here. I can take your brain and shut it off. You still will be here. But the day your heart stops beating is the day you're no longer here. When that electric current, that currency of faith leaves you, you're no longer here. Well, to me, quitting is like stopping your heart. People put definitions on, the business and status and employment titles. They put definitions on what they have. They put definitions on what other people think. But those should be non-determinative upon why you would quit. Have you ever thought about quitting? And if so, what did you do to overcome that?
No, when you and I talked, when I had you on my podcast, we talked about Mamba mentality and the Bulgarian Mamba in my life, which is my grandfather. And my grandfather, he was born in a village. He was born to be a farm boy, but it was because a teacher, someone came into his life that inspired him to learn how to read. And that love of reading, that love of curiosity led him down a path where he became a medical doctor in Germany. He had to learn German in order to learn medicine. He literally got rejected. Even though he was the best student in Bulgaria, he got rejected by all the top Bulgarian medical schools, but that didn't stop him. That didn't stop him from applying to a school in Germany, a medical school, learning German in order to study medicine, having, in the middle of World War II, when the Nazis are recruiting him to go to war, he was an international student. Luckily, he didn't have to do that, but he lived this life, and I was able to grow up. He was my father figure, and if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for his struggle teaching me that you just can never give up. You never can give up. And it's the people, it's all the naysayers, and they're always going to laugh at you, right? You're going to laugh and scoff, what you've taught me. And people laughed at me when I told them we're opening a restaurant in Spring Valley in 2008 at the height of the economic recession. They laughed when I told them we're doing barbecue. What are you doing in San Diego talking about barbecue? They laughed when I told them we're a barbecue media company. None of it matters because I'm here with you going live on a Friday during my sunrise gratitude. I'm going to ask you quickly about your Spotify playlist challenge because I asked you questions. Part of what you do as a mentor to me is you teach me about stories and lessons and how they apply to digital storytellers. Basically what we're doing with digital hospitality, but it's inspiring people to use their smartphone and start to understand that digital marketing, social media marketing, personal branding, it's not as hard as people make it out to be. But I want to talk about music to you. And specifically, music is so important for me recently because Sunrise Gratitude. I really haven't been listening to as much music as I used to before. I started listening to podcasts in the car, and just music hadn't been as much in my life as it was before. But now that I'm outside for Sunrise Gratitude, I'm listening to playlists. And for me, I want to know, for your Spotify playlist challenge, you sent me 10 songs. I want to go through those songs real quick. Number one, you have Happy by Pharrell, 2018. Why Happy? Why 2018? Why is that on the list?
For me, I was working out at the gym, uh, like you, a lot of different things going on, people laughing at me, scoffing at me, asking me why. And I hear this song before it was popular, and it just stuck with me. It still chokes me up. The lyrics, the music, and then I found the history of the song that Pharrell had written music for the greatest music talents in the world. And he took that song that he wrote, the happy song, he took it to all these famous people. I won't mention them. And they all said, no, I don't want it. That thing sucks. Nobody. And it was at the time when everyone was saying, no, you're not Tony Robbins. You're not Jesus Christ. This is stupid, right? And meanwhile, I felt like Pharrell, and the fact that I had built big brands my entire life. I'd run big companies my life. I had made millions of dollars, lost millions, and made it back again. I had every right to feel that this was a good song that I was going to write. My next song, my podcast, my TV show, all the things that I'm doing today where people applaud me, they laughed at me the way they laughed at him. And that song still, I do workouts. I have the old iPod Shuffle. It's like less
Nice.
than an inch. That's the old one. And it has Wayne Dyer in my playlist on it. And literally, I will replay. There's one little button. I will replay for an entire run, an entire workout, the happy song. And it elevates me. But it is more than just elevating. It's actually mirroring my story of nobody wanting what I do, nobody believing in what I did, even though I had a track history. Right. So
Yeah.
people think like, oh, everything's easy because you have this credibility. No, it just puts more pressure on you because people want you to fail.
Yeah.
Right. I have a friend, Howard Wright, played basketball for the Magic, Stanford Center. And one of my other friends told me when I started the sports marketing company that he was just a hater. Right. Not personal to me. I love the guy. He works for Intel now. But like talking shit about me and about Warren Moon and about we're never going to be successful. Oh, yeah. Everybody leaves, and tries to start a sports marketing company. Now you're
Yep.
applauding,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
They can say what they want, but your success is the greatest. Your success, your happiness is the greatest. And that song is all that to me.
Next song, Three Little Birds, Bob Marley, 1977.
Yeah, so that's significant because when my father-in-law, who passed away, used to come to the beach house in San Diego, which he always said was he'd always make us play that song. And sorry. So still today, there's like three birds that come onto the deck, and I I believe that's his sign to me and to my wife how grateful he was for that opportunity, like your sunrise. So that song, that's what that means to me. Sorry.
No, that's why we love music. And that's why I'm excited about a playlist challenge and the fact that my mentor is willing to be vulnerable. I love you for that, David. Number 3, Where is the Love? Black Eyed Peas, 2003.
Best lyrics applicable to today, with the election especially. Go back, listen to the lyrics of that song. It applies to today to be one.
And one of the things that I love is that lyrics have never been more easy to access because of technology. Apple Playlist, there's a button you can it'll scroll through the lyrics and it gives deeper meaning to the stories behind the songs.
Well, we actually know what words are being sung. That was my favorite thing when I realized I could look at the lyrics, is how many words I had wrong on all my favorite songs.
That's true. I've started to realize that too. Number 4 you put on David Meltzer's Spotify playlist challenge list is Sexual Healing, Marvin Gaye, 1982.
Yeah, that's my romantic song with my wife. A little
That's
bit naughty, a little bit sexy, but it's my song.
Number 5, Rocket Man, Elton John, 1972.
Yeah, the man raised over $400 million for AIDS. My oldest brother passed away for HIV. He had struggled to be accepted for who he was, and now later on in his life, he's accepted himself for who he was. He's the Rocket Man. He probably changed the world more than anybody else could even imagine, in leading us to raise all that money and curing, or at least coming up with a cure for HIV.
Number 6 on David Meltzer's Spotify playlist is Imagine, John Lennon, 1971.
Favorite song. My book's about it. It's my favorite song. Uh, Possibility to probability to perspective. You listen to that song. That's how you manifest. And it talks. It's the deepest song. It has layers and layers of understanding. It's like the Course in Miracles. John Lennon was a prophet, in my opinion, and that song is my favorite song.
Number 7 on David's playlist is Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin, 1971 as well.
Wife's favorite song, so it has to be on my list.
Fair enough. Number 8, America, Neil Diamond, 1980.
Childhood favorite of my mom and my wife's mom. So I grew up to that song, so it reminds me of my mom.
Number 9, Here Comes the Sun, Beatles, 1969.
That's the song I sang to my kids when they in the belly when they were really really small. That's the song I'd sing, and I have a horrible voice, so I'd play it behind me a little louder.
Number 10, Change in My Life, John Pagano, 1992.
That's my new favorite. It's from the movie Leap of Faith, and it talks about this idea of loving where you are today, angling to something better, but having faith that you'll end up somewhere better than that. And if anyone hasn't heard that song, it's an inspirational gospel song that's one of my favorites today, if not my favorite thing to listen to right now.
So people are asking where they can find the playlist. I'm sure your Team David Meltzer, who is absolutely incredible, the rock stars of digital storytelling. I know they'll get that up on Spotify. The reason why it's a Spotify playlist challenge is because Spotify's made it easy to make a public playlist.
Yeah.
The
And
challenge.
they feature me too, so I'm certified, featured.
Perfect.
All my trainings, all my podcasts, everything's featured. I got my own playlist, so check out the playbook as well, and of course, Digital Hospitality on Spotify.
Well, I appreciate that. And the last thing I want to ask you is who are you going to challenge? Who do you want in your life to learn about the songs to their life, their 10 songs, and who are you going to follow up and interview?
I'm going to interview Jake Fleshner, my employee of the month, who is taking on a lion's share of work, and he's feeling it, but he's expanding and growing. So I'm going to have him be inspired with his list of music. I know he went for a run last night to find his center, so hopefully that'll help him.
It's fantastic. How does music play a role in how you are as a dad?
Music is vibration and frequency, so I utilize it to maintain that center to allow me to accelerate and grow in the right direction, and then utilize music as well for my children so that they understand the lyrics, the vibration, and the frequency, all that are encompassing music.
Well, David, I know you've got a busy day at this coaching call that's
Active.
live.
I'm not busy. I'm active, man. Busy people are inaccessible.
Active, correct, active. I will see you at the training. Keep giving all those gifts back to the world. Stay curious, get involved. You truly inspire so many people, and I can't wait to see more people inspired by David Meltzer's Spotify playlist so that they go and start interviewing people that they love about their playlists.
All right. Enjoy that sunrise, my friend. Stay consistent.
You got it.
Love Sean, Cali Barbecue, Digital Hospitality. He's the man. Check him out if you haven't already. I got a quick question. Moshe is on here. Let me see where you're at, my friend. I do not see you anymore. Did you leave me? Go ahead. Put yourself back up there. I get more than happy to answer a question. He has a podcast called The Mahala Live Experience, which he brings guests on and talks about the psychology of success and fulfillment. That's the only thing you talk about, right? The psychology of it. And where are you, Moshe, my friend? Star Candy, you're always on. Ah, there he is. Hey, Morris. Let's get, I got a fat finger. I'm trying to get that going. We'll take a quick question here. I got a couple minutes. I love to take a lot of questions. Hey, good morning. How are you?
How you doing, brother? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I'm really intrigued by the Mahala live experience and getting to the psychology of what I teach and fulfillment, passion, purpose, and profitability. What question do you have for me?
Awesome. I got a solid question for you that I thought about, and it's going to be a tough one to give a good answer to because it's very nuanced, but let's hope you could spread some light on it.
All right.
So you always talk about like having patience, letting things unravel and manifest naturally, but how do you balance that with like a strong ambition? How do you balance ambition with also patience?
Yeah, so it's the understanding of free will, and that is a very common question actually of me, and it's one of the most difficult and common questions because it does and understanding does take an understanding of the counterintuitive uh, juxtaposition between perseverance and patience, and the understanding of free will allows you to understand the blend of perseverance and patience. What does that mean? That free will, this unsatiable desire to be what you must be, is not determined by the outcome. It's not determined by the outcome. So what we need to do is use that free will, that desire to be what you must be, in order to clear the interferences that we create, to clear the void, shortages, and obstacles that we have, to allow things to come through us. And that allowance is the patient portion. The perseverance portion is the amount of courageous Buddha-ness that you need in order to clear the ego out of the way. The E stands for the employment status that you think defines you. The G stands for the things you get in your life that you think defines you. And the O, most importantly, stands for what other people think of you and define you. So if you use your free will to practice ending ego, to practice ending fear, understanding the primal fears, the secondary fears, and looking at how do I stop when I have a need to be right? How do I stop when I have a need to be offended? How do I stop when I have a need to be separate, inferior, superior? How do I stop when I'm worried, angry, frustrated, anxious? How do I stop when I resent other people? How do I stop? That's perseverance. And if you can stop when you're in that consciousness, creating interference, void, shortages, and obstacles in your life, then you can be patient with full faith, allowing everything to come at the right way at the perfect time. Remember, you are happy right where you're at. You're at the right place at the perfect time. You're angling with all the ferociousness you had, all the perseverance you have, all the desire in your heart and soul, and everything towards what you think you want. But in the end, using that free will to clear the way for what? For faith.
Wow,
For
that's
you to
beautiful.
allow everything to happen.
Wow, so basically, wow, that's beautiful. So basically what you're saying is using your ambition to, instead of using it on the outside, use it as like offense within yourself to clear the way.
You cannot find outside of you what you can't find inside of you. And that exploration is a difficult, courageous, persevering experience that you cannot quit on ever. And you need to detach your outcome, your emotions from the outcome, and attach your emotions to that ferocious behavior to find the light, to find the love, to find the lessons, to stop, drop, and roll when your mind, body, and soul are on fire.
Wow, beautiful answer, David. You're a king. I have a podcast, the Mohala Live Experience. I just started it. Listen, I'm no David Meltzer. I don't got the talk like you. I'm not David Meltzer, but I just figured. I said, let me start something because I feel like I have something I want to share, and if it helps one person, that's enough. It's on Spotify if anybody wants to listen. David, you're the man. Thank you for having me on. Beautiful answer.
I love you, man. Keep practicing. You will be much better than David Meltzer. I promise. You got years and years to catch up, okay?
You're the man, brother. Take care. Have
Take
a
care.
beautiful weekend.
You too. All right, Moshe Morris, my man with the Mahala Live Experience, starting a new podcast for himself. That's what I like to see. Allow it. Get one person, like he said, and then they'll tell two people, and two people tell four, and four, 8. The kid must be like 21 years old. You got 31 years to keep doubling. Go ahead, do the math. Take the number 2, times it by 2, and keep on timesing it. Watch where you get in 31 presses. Way beyond Dave Meltzer, way beyond Gary Vee, way beyond Joe Rogan. I promise you. So just keep pressing the 2 button. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times. Hit it 31 times if you're 21 years old, and then you'll know where you'll be, just like where I am right now, except for you got more of a runway to get there. Yeah, those are dumbbells behind me. You see that? Get a little set in there. I'm an old man, but I'm trying. All right, here we go. Cancel. Let me take a quick question, then I'm going to bring Adam on. We got so many questions lined up. I love the questions. Hey, if I don't answer your questions, come and ask them on Friday Trading Today at 11 a.m. Pacific. It's about 4 hours and 35 minutes from now. Come join me. If you are not and haven't joined, just email me. It's pinned. David@dmeltzer.com. David@dmeltzer.com. Join my text community, 949-298-2905. David, listen, Morjo B. enjoy the ride song, please. I think you will like it. Oh, I will. Thank you, DJ. Here we go. What's your number one lesson on health from today's office hours? Thank you for joining me. Vitamin hormone D is my number one lesson. The reason that vitamin D and hormone D, D3 is so important is that it literally strengthens our immune system. It is an amazing tool to stop inflammation and to stop stress. Stress is the number one killer of all, and it actually fights stress. So that was my number one health lesson. If you're not looking into the vitamin D and the hormone D, look at D3 for David. You got it. Anyway, that was my number one. Peace from Alabama. DJ, United States of America. Peace from everywhere. We live in a peaceful nation trying to pursue our potential and happiness, right? And the pursuit of happiness, the United States of America. All right, here we go. Adam Robinson, I'm looking for you, my friend. Is Adam here, Jakey Bake? Where do we all from? We all from each other. That's where we all from. One branch of tree does not fight against another branch. The tree would die. We all are connected. And I'm going to keep on reminding us, all these people from all over the world. Thank you for joining me. Let me see, Mr. Robinson. There we are. I'll send you a request. Here's to you, Mr. Robinson, CEO of Get Emails. Welcome to the live. Here we go. Mr. Robinson.
How are you, David?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm experiencing a little bit of Wi-Fi trouble, so I just ditched the Wi-Fi network, and I think we're all good now.
I've been there, man. I've been there. We'll work around it. It's such a pleasure to have you here. Give me a little bit of background on Get Emails and, of course, your newest product, which I'm going to use, called Get Audiences.
All right. Well, I've been in email for a long time, and about 2 years ago, I stumbled across this part of email that no one knows about yet, and I'm very excited to be here talking to people before Black Friday who have any sort of e-commerce business that they're doing. It's called identity resolution. Totally legal in the US, sounds crazy. What you can do is you can identify people who are on your website but don't fill out a form at all, and we can give you their email addresses and full contact records so you can market to them. So people who've already made it to that part in your funnel, right? But they just haven't made it far enough to actually give you information and convert. You can follow up with them, warm them up, move them down your funnel, and convert them into actual, solid leads and then customers using this identity resolution technology. It's crazy. It sounds unbelievable. It sounds way too good to be true. It's like 80% cheaper than getting an opt-in on social. All of that we've been hearing forever. But the reality is it exists. And that's what you get from our product called Get Emails.
All right. How do I sign up?
GetEmails.com. You just create a free account. And for your listeners, if you put in the coupon code David25, we'll give you 25% off for 3 months.
And what if you're David himself?
David, we'll cut you an even better deal.
Don't get it unless you ask, man.
We'll cut you an even better deal.
Oh my God.
Just look us up.
You got to get on my TV show. This is incredible. I have a new show with Bloomberg coming out in January called the 2-Minute Drill. And this would be a perfect thing to talk about. So make sure you reach out to Jake as well. So how is it legal? That's what I want to know.
That's the first question everybody asks. So how it's legal is because contrary to popular belief in the US, email marketing, according to the law, not according to the best practices or belief or whatever, the law says, the US Can-Spam Law of 2003 says email marketing is opt-out and not opt-in. So you don't actually need consent in the US to send an email newsletter to somebody, so long as there's an opt-out link in the bottom of it. That's not true for Europe. You have to get consent in Europe. You have to get consent in Canada too. But for US citizens, and our service is only for the US, our European companies, if they put it on their site, will only give you US citizens. Yeah. US addresses, US everything. So long as you're in the US, so long as you're marketing to US people, it is opt-out. And the next question is, well, what about CCPA? I thought that was like GDPR. Well, it's actually the same in that CCPA is an opt-out legislation. It's not opt-in like GDPR. It's much more restrictive than CAN-SPAM, but as long as you change your privacy policy it's opt out. And what people don't know about CCPA is it only applies to people who have over 25 million in revenues. So a lot of your listeners it won't even apply to, which is just news to people. You know, they just had no idea that was the case.
Yeah, and I get threatened all the time. I had a woman that had emailed me or been part of an email and somehow got into my newsletter list and like was aggressively, you know, you've violated my privacy and all of this. And I immediately said, I'll take you off. You know, there's an unsubscribe button as well, you know, and I'm glad that you have the time to send me 5 emails, and I do appreciate it. But, you know, she seemed as if she knew the law, and it, you know, my business isn't following that criteria. I didn't take her email, and yet people, you know, are boldly, you know, brazenly, you know, threatening people, which is just as bad as people stealing your privacy.
Well, if you can believe it, we get a lot of threats too.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, we actually kind of like, for a while last year, we were leaning into this issue because it is somewhat controversial. And controversial messages, when you get the discussion going and your fans are debating your enemies, you know, in an ad that you're doing, like there's no better way to advertise on social than that, right? Because the reach that you get is just unbelievable. So
I mean, you could almost run for president if you become really controversial.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. Like if you look at our Facebook page reviews, it's probably like 20 negative reviews. All of them are people who've never touched the product. Yeah. They're just like, this is a violation of privacy. What these people are doing are horrible, you know. And then I give them some clever response that winds them up even more. And like, right, like 5 more things.
The response I give people when I get negative comments or haters is I love just straight out giving them my cell phone. Right, I put my cell phone out. I'll give my cell phone right now. 858-688-3294. That is my cell phone. I did it yesterday, 2 calls, and one of them was a text. They still were too afraid to call me. But like, if you have a problem with me, you can go ahead and post all you want and increase my brand. But why don't you call me and I can discuss why you feel that way? Then maybe I can learn something, or maybe sign up for your service and see why they don't like it, and then explain instead of you know. I went to law school, so don't threaten me with statutes, right? I went to law school. I didn't know the statute. I didn't know whether it was true or not. All I knew is this person had a lot of time in order to threaten me, and I knew in the end there was no damages. So you know, good luck.
Right.
So, any last piece of advice on? I would think lookalike audiences could be built from those email lists, which is another valuable quantitative thing that Get Emails allows us to do, or Get Audiences allows us.
Well,
I use that a lot.
So we're beta testing a much better product for that. You can build the lookalike audiences with the email addresses, but the problem is the match rate to your customers with our technology is only about 30%. But we have another way of doing it where we're not identifying to personally identifiable information. We're identifying to like one of 160 different things. Our match rate's like 95%. And then what we do is take the hottest 5% of people on your website that are about to buy. So in AI looks at all of the signals of somebody who are there, you know, messing around, and they're like, okay, if they do this, 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 and this with like 100 different variables, they're the most likely ones to buy. So we take that audience and we seed all of the social networks with it, and it like crushes the Facebook lookalike pixel by like 30 or 40%.
All right. Well, when my following doubles, everybody's going to know why, because I'm,
exactly.
Jake's calling you right after this IG. It's not too early, I hope.
No. Been awake for a while.
Dude, I love learning things. My favorite thing about all the shows I do and the people I meet is like, it just reminds me, I don't have a clue about what I don't know. And like, there's these little touches of favor, and that's what I would describe your business as. If you're anyone out there understanding about audience and how important it is to build a community and how inexpensive it is to build a community today, and it won't be in 10 years, and you'll be kicking yourself like you weren't one of the first investors at Amazon. I mean, literally, if you're not building your community today, you're missing the boat. And I sit here and I'm supposed to be, you know, the all-knowing expert and coach. And every day I run into someone like you going, oh my God, I don't know shit, man. I gotta keep talking to people. Right. So if you want to touch a favor in your brand to build a community, your product, service, solution, or your personal brand, I'm telling you right now, Get Emails is a touch of favor. Go to getemails.com. I rarely do commercials, but this thing's a life changer if you want to build a community, which I think should be a priority for every service solution and product and personal brand out there. So make sure you reach out. I got a discount code, even though he's not giving me a discount. It's David. What is it?
No,
David
you
25.
come straight to me. I'm going to hook you up even more than that.
All right. Well, I'm putting you on my TV show. We're going to partner. Man,
Yeah,
this is
perfect. Yeah,
I might throw you some cash.
We
I
got
might
you
invest
taken
in
care of.
this. I might invest in this. I get this. This is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyway, so give the website one more time so people can get in the code.
www.getemails.com, and the code's David25.
You got it. That's how old I'd like to be, but I'm 52, so just turn it back around. 25. All right. Well, we're gonna be partners, Adam. So it was great to meet you. Thank you so much for coming on and literally giving me a touch of favor today. I appreciate you.
All right. Have a great weekend. Thanks for having me.
All right. Get Emails. What a great tool. Unbelievable. You learn something new every day. If you're watching this live and you didn't take notes on that, quantitative value, that will change your life. That stuff is the bomb. I don't know if Justin's on here, but Jakey, reach out, getemails.com to our friend Adam. Let's get him on the TV show as well. Oh, what's the website? Getemails.com. Sorry, I'm an anti-promoter unless it's like to provide value, straight value, that I don't think is promoting. I think I'm helping everybody. That is an amazing tool. You think about all the reasons it's an amazing tool. Anyway, let me answer a few questions and keep it going here. Answered that one. How do you stay positive all the time? I don't. I spend minutes and moments in negativity, but make sure it's only minutes and moments. Learn to stop, drop, and lower. Find center. Roll. I saw Trevor Moad speaking of neutral. My man is the king of being neutral and accelerating in the right trajectory. He is the mindset coach for the #1 quarterback in the world. Not Tom Brady, you morons. Is Russell Wilson. Ask anybody. First half MVP. Russell Wilson trains with my boy Trevor Moad. Welcome, Trevor. Trinidad, welcome. How do you stay focused on today? Remember, refocus is my game, not focus. You can only be focused on one thing. So what causes us not to be focused is we don't have the capability of refocusing. So I build the muscle. I have the discipline of refocusing. Our minds move so quickly that it looks like we can do 2, 3, 4, 5 things at one time, because those are people that have extraordinary muscles of refocus. I'm going from here to here, here to here, here to here, back, so fast that it looks like I'm doing 3, 4 things, but it is just a muscle of refocus. So you can take 2 things and practice refocusing. So talk to somebody and try to read, build that muscle. And what you're doing is going back and forth from reading and talking, and trying to use the intermittent delays that are not noticeable by the human capability of their senses or their memory. And so we want to practice refocus, not focus. Very, very crucial understanding and lesson that I learned in my life. Discuss the pros and cons of focusing on competition. Well, if you want to suck your soul, that'd be a pro of focusing on competition. I wouldn't focus on competition. I would learn from my competition, learn how to be equal to and better than. I don't focus in on it. I learn from my competition so that they can educate the market on what I do, because in the end, competition is wonderful if you have the better product, service, or solution, because they're just educating the market for you to come and swoop in and get the deal. So don't focus in on competition. Learn from the competition, make yourself equal, then make yourself better, and allow them to pay all the money to educate the market so they can buy your better product or switch to it later on. What do you know about I don't know what that is. Let me go to the next one. What is the best way to create an emotional connection over the phone? All right, here, write this down. 1, ask somebody what they're doing today. 2, ask what they like about it, what they don't like about it. 3, ask them, would it help you if blank? All right, you got that? What are you doing today? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? And would it help you if we did blank? That's just a very basic template. If you want to learn more, I do a sales private group We can go through all those aspects of credibility, emotional attachment, quantifying reasons, impacts, capabilities, making sure that you can always come up with the greatest close in the world, which is, can you see any reason why you won't want to move forward? Can you see any reason you won't want to move forward? That's what I look for. That's my ultimate goal, objective, etc. What do you think, Colleen? You there? Give me a big thumbs up. Good to see you, everyone. Jakey Bakey, you're going to reach out for me as well. Give me a thumbs up. All right. Hey, Gemma, loving the sales group. Thank you. Yeah, that private group is kick butt. And her business is growing. If you haven't seen the GIFSA, it's a great thing for where we're at. Here we go. What makes you so successful? My ability to make other people happy. That's what I'm talking about. So, oh, sorry. I guess Colleen's not here. Bummer. I was going to ask her a question. Anyway, hopefully I'll have her rewatch this. Jake, maybe you could text her and tell her to rewatch this. All right, here we go. What are we looking at? How can one succeed with the people that are supposed to help but only bring negativity? How can one succeed with the people that are supposed to help but only bring? So that falls within the context of the feeding chain. So whether people are supposed to help you or not, there she is. All right. They must have texted you. Thank you, Jake. Anyway, where we want to go is the great feeding chain. One, what feeds you, feed it to varying degrees. Two, if it doesn't feed you to varying degrees, separate yourself from it. Do not allow it to drain you of your energy, of your soul. And then if it bleeds you in varying degrees, let it fall away or fire it. All three of those. So that is the context in that we want to work through and two. And that's the best way. I will take one more question. And then, believe it or not, we're so early. Oh my goodness. In 4 hours and 18 minutes, we're going to do training on quitting and all the aspects of quitting. It's going to be one of my best trainings. If you miss it, don't worry. I know it's Friday. I know people work. It's at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. I know people work. That's why it's featured on Spotify. There's a whole playlist of all the trainings available to you. You can email me to get all of the guides, david@dmeltzer.com. Forms, guides, exercises, all can be given to you for free. I'll sign a book, ship it to you, pay for shipping, and give it to you. I discovered Napoleon Hill at 18, and I've been reading it ever since. Andrew, welcome back, my friend. Good to see you. All right, one more question, and then we're going to be off to training. What do you look for first in new investments? Credibility. I trust and then vet. That's what I look first. So I take the entrepreneur for what they have, executive summaries, business plans. I trust what they say and then vet it. If they open the door by overselling, back-end selling, manipulating, lying, or cheating, then I go ahead and make sure that they get the appropriate response through the great chain of feeding, which I just discussed. All right, everyone. It is going to be an incredibly active day. We've done office hours. We've done live. We got keynote speeches and training. That's all before noon today, Pacific time. We're going to make it happen for everyone. I appreciate everyone. If you want to reach out to me, it's david@dmeltzer.com. I left my cell phone in here too. If you want to go back and watch the replay, the cell phone's in there. My text community is easy though, 949-298-2905. Everything's posted right there at the bottom, pinned right at the bottom. You can join my free trainings. You can join my Spotify. It's featured on Entrepreneur on every platform. Come on, everybody. Let's get inspired. Let's empower others to be happy. It's an incredible day, an incredible world. Be happy. Take advantage of it. Pursue your potential consistently, persistently, without quit. And that's what training's about. Do not quit. Remember, most importantly, everybody, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. I'll see you at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you.